All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect right here, right now, and we got the one and only, we got Rittz live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah. What up, man? How you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to stay positive down here in Canada. You know, with this lockdown, they still got us locked down over here, but hopefully we can all get back to doing concerts soon, man, because I would love to catch you next time you slide on through to the Great White North.
Oh man, I know, right? It's gonna be weird, like getting back out there. Everything's been shut down for so long. I'm finally gonna get to do that this year, so hopefully I'll make it up to Canada real soon.
Most def. I remember as well when you performed out here in Kingston, Ontario, man. You know what I mean? You put on a hell of an amazing performance.
Oh man, thank you, man. It's always crazy, like to come up there and just see the love. You know what I mean? That I get, and man, it's always cool. It's a great vibe, cool spot. So yeah, man, I can't wait. I always have a blast.
But I gotta take you back to the beginning, Ritz, and I gotta ask, man, like, what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially? Like, what's the story behind your legendary career?
I mean, well, it started out. My whole family musicians. Like my dad was a guitar player and a singer, and my uncle played saxophone. My other uncle played drums. Just my other uncle was a DJ. Just a lot of musicians in my family. Growing up, they always had like 8x10 black and white photos of the band pictures. Trying to get on and from doing shows. I was always into the music. I always wanted to be a musician for a living. That's what I taught my dad. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So I mean, they're definitely for that reason. I definitely got music from my family. Period. Just from the jump, from my early age.
And I gotta ask as well, man, like, were they okay with you going into the genre of hip hop, or did they want you to kind of go their route and do rock and roll?
Nah, I mean, yeah, yeah, they weren't happy about it, to be honest. But at the time, when I first started getting into it, it was right when, the explicit lyrics and the topics of hip hop. It was 92, 91, 93. Everything was being challenged by like, the government, and like, you know what I mean? It was a big deal back then. So it definitely was yeah, it was an experience for them. Plus, I wasn't that good of a kid at that time anyway, so they kind of went hand to hand. But as I think once I got around in my 20s and really started hitting the city and really doing shows, I think they got to come to some shows and really see like, wow, he's good. Because there was no way to judge if that was that good or not.
And also as well, around 2003, you actually won Battlegrounds on Hot 107.9. I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a bit more about that contest, and of course, how did that opportunity arise for you back in '03?
I did, man. Actually, it was 07 or 8, but it was all around the same time. It just seemed like I was doing these type of things to try to get on this platform, because back then that's what you had, you know what I mean? And it was, man, it was huge. We got lucky. You know what? I forgot exactly how it came about, but the Dirty Boys down here in Atlanta, they did it, the Battleground. I forgot exactly how I got. Oh, I know how I got on there. Chrome Recordings, the guys I was working with at the time, had a connection there with another DJ. And man, it was just cool. I actually got lucky and got on there twice. And the first time I went on, I got beat first night. So like, you get all your family members and all your friends around the phone. Everybody's calling, busy signal, calling back to back. But as soon as you get on, it's like, there's a song, and he lost. That's it. But yeah, I got a chance to come back, man, and then I just ended up taking it, man, the whole week, and they retired the song. And that was the first beginning of me actually getting a buzz in the city. Just something where I walked around, people knew who I was, DJs knew who I was. So that was really one of the highlights of my music career. Looking back on everything I've done, that was such a cool moment.
And like you said, you came back and you took it, man. You know what I mean? You took everybody by surprise, and you most definitely took over their airwaves for weeks by the sounds of it.
Yeah, man, one of my friends, actually, he was a neighbor of mine, Andy. He used to live in the woods, man. They're a crazy-ass family, man. Andy used to come by every day, but he had a stuttering problem. So, like, he called in and actually got through. Like, out of all the people I had calling, Andy got through. And he's like, he stuttered. So they got the lady in the chopper. They're discussing if it's a real problem or not. It was hilarious, man.
And also as well, in the year 2009, you actually got connected with the artist Yellow Wolf. I was wondering, how did yourself and him get connected? And of course, what was it like working with him early on in your career? Because I remember as well, when you did the stuff with Yellow Wolf, that your career really started to blow up.
Oh, yeah, that's 100%. As far as the connections wise, it's definitely Yellow Wolf. 100%. That will always be. From that situation, from the radio stuff that I did before, and just all these opportunities that were coming that were giving me, like, you're going in the right direction, but where it still just haven't found it yet. A guy hit me up on MySpace, which is who's now my manager, Freddie Berman, and he just was into my music. He just got, I guess he moved to the town I was in or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but either way, he was in a group with Yellow Wolf called Dixie Mafia. And so I went and saw a Yellow Wolf show. I was just in a different circuit, like doing like kind of a strip club, kind of like nightclub stuff. Yellow Wolf was doing like these cool hip hop shows. I mean, he was doing a bunch of stuff, but where I was at, that's how I got introduced to him. And I thought it was dope. I wanted to get in that mix because I thought they'd actually listen to my lyrics, you know. So, man, I went to his shows. I went to one of his shows. We met. We chopped it up, and just the relationship developed. We talked on the phone, you know, trading music back and forth, and then he came to my house. I was in my parents' house, and did a verse with me on a record. Or we did a verse together, and then like went and did Bob Chevy when he got on, or when he was about to get on. So, man, and that really, you know, man, that started it all.
And I gotta say as well, Box Chevy is a phenomenal song, man. I gotta say that's still getting radio play even today down here in Canada, man, because I still hear that just bumping on the FM stations as well.
That's awesome, man. A great song, man. That whole project's amazing, you know. It was cool, man. Yeah, he was just, it was right timing, man. You know, you always hear a sweet note, you know, but and it's different, you know, different times call for different things. But for, you know, a lot of it is who you know, but it's like, you got to know that exact person. You can't just know his cousin, his uncle, you know, somebody to get you right in, you know what I mean? Or at least put you in front of those eyes. So, man, it was dope. And he knew people. That's where it came from, his connection. So it was dope, man. It was a blessing.
And also in 2012, you actually signed to Tech Nine's label, Strange Music. And I gotta say, first and foremost, Rittz, I know you probably get asked this multiple times in every interview, so my apologies, but I gotta ask, how did that record deal actually come to be for you? And of course, what was it like just working alongside the one and only Tech Nine?
Man, shout out to Tech, shout out to Book too, man. Everybody's American, everybody's Strange. Travis up win. Man, it was cool, man. The same thing with the Yellow Wolf around that time. Wolf, you know, he had a vision of where he wanted to go with American, you know, or what he was telling me at the time. And then when he got his deal, you know, I think he realized he was just so busy, you know, he's growing up. So he couldn't really do nothing with me. But so when he had Tech and him at the studio, not couldn't do nothing with me, but you get what I'm saying, couldn't put me where I needed to be at that moment. So when he had Tech and him in the studio, he was really trying to, you know, introduce me to who he could. So, man, I met them at Tree Sound Studios. And, man, I don't know, me and my manager, Freddie, had been, like, kind of looking at, you know, Strange anyway, like, you know, just kind of like, I always admired, like, what they did as far as the independent label and how they operated. So, you know, at that point in time, it was like, do we go with a major? Do we go with an independent? It wasn't as much to start an independent label on your own, and they didn't know how to get distribution back then, you know. So, man, it happened. I did the song Bloody Murder with Tech. I flew out there to Kansas City. We got along, man. All those guys are really nice guys, really cool people, and crazy talented. And, man, that's how it started, man. Signed a contract, and we got it moving and put out some great albums.
And also as well, on October 15th, 2013, you actually appeared in the first cipher at the 2013 BET Hip Hop Awards. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that experience. And of course, what was it like being a part of one of the biggest award shows within the hip hop community?
Oh, man, it was like a dream come true. The time I grew up, man, you know, the era I come from, man, that was, my dream was to be on an award show, you know what I'm saying? And, like, be like, you know, a rap star, you know what I mean? Like, that's what validated you. Like, I made it finally, you know what I mean? To me, that was the ultimate. Now, I wasn't on the award show as far as like getting the awards, nothing like that. But just to be in that atmosphere, you know, to this day, it was definitely my dream came true type moment, you know what I mean? I haven't really gotten any of those things. And it was just, and it's because I admired it so much. Man, it was crazy. But I got some crazy, my experience was unique, man. My limo was late. We got a limo. We got some cheap limos. We didn't have money like that. The traffic was crazy in the city. The guy was about to drop me off a block away, want to make me walk. Me and my manager are yelling at the limo driver, like, it takes a lot to get me upset, man. So I'm screaming at the limo driver, like, man, I'm going to a award show. It's like the biggest moment in my life. Getting in an argument with the limousine guy, and it's like, damn, you're here. And I, like, walk out, and it's like, Rittz, look over here. And then, I know, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know, the fame and stuff like that, but that was the moment. You know, I walked down, like, the red carpet, and it was like, look over here. And I'm arguing with the limo driver. I get out, man. It was just great, man. I think I was a little off the chain, though, man. I was kind of partying a little bit. You know, Snoop was up there talking on the mic, and you could just hear like a bottle clank out of my pocket, like down the aisle. If I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't party as hard, man. But man, it was crazy. I was just thinking about that today. I was watching Mayweather's fight on YouTube, just looking at the fight, and man, just thinking about being that close to those guys in that room. And it was just cool, man. As a fan, it was just such a dope experience. Like, wow, man, these people, it was tight, man.
I gotta say though, I don't blame you for partying though. You know what I mean? I think if I was in your shoes and I was going to the BET Hip Hop Awards, you know what I mean, and I was gonna be featured in it, best believe, you know what I mean, there's gonna be a lot of bottles clinking, man. So I gotta say, I don't blame you for that one, man. That was most definitely some partying that was most definitely due on that night.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a highlight of my life, man. If I get to go do something like that again, that'll be another highlight. So if that's what it is, I'll take it, man. It was a great experience.
And also as well, the one thing I have to ask you, because this is my personal favorite album. I remember this is actually the album when I first actually discovered you as an artist, and I remember picking this up back in the day at HMV, but on September 9th, 2014, you actually dropped Next to Nothing, my personal favorite record. And I have to ask you, what's the inspiration and creative process behind this phenomenal record?
Oh, man, thank you so much, first of all, man. I love that album. At the time, the concept for the title, Next to Nothing, was, from seeing, so when I got into the game and I signed the deal, it was kind of on the verge of when the music industry kind of changed, like as far as like streaming and just, the whole album selling thing, and just how things operated. So I had this, guy who put me on just signed to Eminem. I signed a tech. Next thing you know, I got a song on the radio. We're doing radio, mainstream radio. I go to the awards show, I'm really feeling like this is the life that I've always dreamed about. And then when it got to a certain point, I realized what it takes to go to the next level. And I was kind of let down. So I wanted to let the fans know I'm still barely hanging on to Next to Nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and that was just where I was at the time. But man, there was just a lot of dope moments that happened with producers and certain people that just came together that just made it happen. That just worked out, man. I don't know, but I do love that album, and it was a great time, man. Shot some great videos for a lot of those records. There's some big songs on there.
And I gotta say, one of my favorite songs that I still jam to today is actually "Turn Down," man. I don't know, whenever my blood's boiling, man, that's a song I go to, man. You know what I mean? I love it.
That's a show starter right there, man. That's a show starter for sure.
And also as well, after Strange Music, you actually left to actually start your own record label. And I like I just mentioned, you actually own and operate your own label titled CNT Records. And I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a bit more about your record label. And of course, what can we expect from your label in the future? Because I know you're doing huge things this year. And I want to say as well, congratulations. I noticed as well that you signed a deal with your actual label as well. So congratulations on that. Nowhere but up for yourself and your record label.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. CNT stands for clientele, and like back in the day, when we all rapped in my basement at my parents' house, my crew that we all rapped together, the clientele crew, and so that was just that was our name, the whole crew. I just had tons of people in my studio in my basement, so it was always a vision of mine to have CNT Records. Clientele, we actually got the name from a certain spot where I couldn't actually use the name clientele. CNT was just cool, so we just started it up, and it was something I always wanted to do. It's just getting in the position and just knowing the game and how it works and everything else. So, man, shout out to Freddie Berman, Sender, man. He's doing it with me, my manager, and man, he just does a great job. All the people I got working with me right now, and the fans, man, they follow me over from Strange, and it's just really it's crazy, man, with CNT because I'm the owner of my record label now, doing my own thing, but it's like, I had to do a lot of building. It seemed like, rebuilding from the ground up. So it's been some work, man, but I'm, blessed for all the people that kept up with me and just, man, it's time, man. It's a new thing, man. But right now, just dropping a lot of projects. I got a lot of new music coming. As far as other artists in the future, I don't know. It might be something I do. I'm not sure how to go about that yet, to be honest.
But also, last year in 2020, you actually released your 6th studio album titled Picture Perfect. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about this particular release, and of course, where can we actually snag ourselves a hard copy today, if there is any available? Because I do know, you know what I mean. You definitely sell your records quickly, and of course, it is about a year old.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, Picture Perfect, my second album off TNT Records. Actually, the third technically since we put the remake of White Jesus Lucy's up there. Um, I don't know, man. I tell you what, every project, your next project seems like, I Pop told me back in the day, like, the newest song, you're gonna think it's your best one, but it's not. But man, I love Picture Perfect, though. So I put in a lot of work on it, man. Just really trying to make a dope project, and you can get it right now at ritzmerch.com, rittz.merch.com. And man, I'm really proud of that album, man. I had a lot of things going on at the time, and it was actually, when I did put a crown on it, which was my first release on CNT, it was like the first one when I actually had a label. I was kind of getting used to doing my own thing, doing a lot of explaining, what happened, where I'm at now. But Picture Perfect was like the first one. I'm like, okay, this is what it's like to have my own label now. I'm doing all these videos, the record, you know what I'm saying? I'm writing scripts for them. Just had a lot of control. It's just a new outlook on my career. And so when I did Picture Perfect, man, it was like I was writing almost with a new freedom. Not that the label had me on anything trapped up before. I don't know. It's just, I bossed up, man, so I was feeling really good. You know what I mean? So, man, I'm proud of it, man.
And I gotta say as well, the song "Hell and Back," in my personal opinion, is my favorite off the Picture Perfect record, man. Track 8 is absolutely phenomenal in my personal opinion.
Yeah, shout out to Doobie, man. Shout out to Doobie for getting on there, man. Yeah, thank you very much, bro. I love that song. I actually just did it live for the first time a couple months ago, and it went off. So I, can't wait to get out there and do it on tour, man. Do it live. I really love that record.
And also as well, man, the same year of 2020, you actually created a Christmas album titled Rittz. And I was wondering, what actually made you decide to start to create a Christmas album? And of course, do you have any plans to actually do a follow-up in the next coming years?
Oh man, definitely. So I'll say this, and this is crazy, and this is so true. I think, in my personal opinion, I think if I write the rest of my life, if I write 10 more albums, there's no way to top that Richmond's album. I think it's the best album I've ever made. It's crazy, right? Because it's the Christmas. The whole Corona situation, the quarantine, we were all stuck in the house, and so I wrote Picture Perfect and Richmond, and a ton of other songs that actually haven't been released that are going to come out. I don't know. I had a lot of time left. And was like, wow, I already wrote a ton of songs. Maybe I should do a Christmas project. That'd be fun. You know what I'm saying? No one's done that in a while. And I was like, I want to do it my way, though, and really make this when you listen to it like you're watching a Christmas movie, almost like a motion picture. Like put 10 songs in there and they can run together and make it just like you're watching a play, but it's a rapper rapping it to you. You know what I mean? So, and I think I achieved that, man. At the end of it, I was looking for any little holes I missed, or certain Christmas things I couldn't put in there, and how I did. But shout out to Watson the Great, man. My engineer really put in a lot of work on that. But that one is definitely my favorite project I ever made, and I really don't see how I can top it. Only because it's just so well put together, man, and well produced. It's a shame it's a Christmas record, man. You know what I mean? Because it was the same thing. First time with everything with CNT, putting it out there, seeing how things do, and hey, you got to take advantage because that Christmas window's short. You know what I mean? So we'll definitely be pushing more stuff with that next year, and probably some other records on it as well.
And I was gonna say as well, I gotta say it was very refreshing to hear another hip hop Christmas record, man. Because unfortunately with hip hop we don't have a lot of Christmas albums or even Christmas songs. So you got your traditional, you know what I mean, like your Little John, you got your your Run DMC and whatnot, but you don't really have a lot of new stuff to really enjoy. So I gotta say, when that dropped last year, it was really refreshing to be able to put up the Christmas lights and listen to something just a little different. It's a little change of atmosphere.
That's what I wanted to do, man. I wanted just to make it happen too, and also not like a lot of these albums, like Christmas albums or something like that. You hear somebody on there just kind of just rap stuff on top of a Christmas video. But I wanted to do a lot of storytelling and really tie it together. You know what I mean?
And I also saw as well on one of the websites that you were actually doing a U.S. tour with 27 up-and-coming concerts alongside former label mate Tech 9. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners what can they expect from this U.S.-wide tour, and of course, what cities do you guys actually plan on hitting?
Yo, man, actually, 66 cities, I believe. Yeah, it's a long one. Yeah, shout out to Tech Nine Strange Music. I'll be direct support for Tech opening up on the tour, man. With all the other dope artists on there right now. I'm excited, man. Those Tech Nine crowds are big. I haven't been on the, with the whole quarantine, man. I've only performed once since New Year's Eve, 2020. So, as far as live, man, it's been really shut down. So it's going to be crazy. I think I'm going to really walk out on the stage and be like, hey, thank you guys for letting me have a job. I think I'm going to be looking around like, wow, I forgot I had a job. It's dope. Man, I'm so excited, man. Get your tickets, strangevip.com. It's going to be crazy. I'm not intimidated by it, but I get, even talking about it, I get this excitement. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been out there in so long, so I'm ready to hit it. It's going to be a lot of new music. They're always great. If you've ever been to a Strange show, it's crazy. The energy is great, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
And the one thing I have to ask, when you said you performed during the pandemic, I really have to ask, well, was it really a change of atmosphere? Like, was there any certain protocols you guys really had to go through? Because I've seen some down here in Canada where they even had plexiglass up from the stage. It was really a weird environment.
Yeah, man, I should have clarified. Like, no, that was a live stream show. Yeah, I haven't even done it yet. I haven't even been in a crowd like that. Yeah, so I don't know, man. You've seen it more than I have. That's what I'm saying. The tech tour has been crazy for me because I haven't been out in that long. Those crowds are big, you know what I mean? I'm going to do my thing and show out, but it's just, it's crazy how quick a person can forget. If you're used to doing something and you're used to your life being a certain way, once things stop, it's like, whoa, it's going to be crazy getting back out there on the road and be like, wow, this is what I do. I tour the country. You know what I mean? How fast you can forget. I've been on a million tours.
I'm pretty sure once your feet hit that stage and you see them lights turn on, I'm pretty sure Rittz is gonna come right out and just destroy it.
Yeah, man. Thank you. It's almost less about that. It's more like just being grateful for what it is. You know what I mean? You actually see how it can get taken away. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, I'm just crazy excited to get back out there. You know what I mean? It's like more than anybody will know.
But I gotta ask, man, other than the U.S. tour you're doing with Tech Nine and whatnot, what is next for you? Is there any new projects, anything I happen to miss, anything else you do still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves.
Oh, man, I got new music coming out, like, really soon. So make sure you follow all my social media, subscribe to my YouTube. There's going to be a lot going on. That's really what happened. I mean, I'm literally gearing up as we speak. Like tonight, I'm looking at album artwork and project artwork, single artwork, new merch design. There's a lot coming, and it's going to be released. I'm doing something not different than what's going on right now, but for me, I've always been used to releasing music a certain way. Releasing once and waiting to come out for a while. There's going to be a lot going on this year, put it that way. So, and it's all about the start. Once the door opens up, I'm going in until I'm on that road. The next thing you know, more Christmas songs will be coming out, and then I'll be back doing it again, and it's not going to stop. So I've been just gearing up for this, man, for this whole, quarantine and all this time I've been sitting around not being able to do much but write. It's all these songs are about to come to life, and, about to get back out there on the road, and everything's about to open up, so it's going down.
Most definitely. And I got to say, first and foremost, Rittz, thank you so much, man, for just taking a little bit of your time this evening and coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. Like I mentioned, I've been a fan for a long time, so I just want to personally give you your flowers while I have you here on the line and just say thank you for years of amazing music, and thank you for everything you do and being so humble towards your fans, supporters, and followers, man. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing some brand new Rittz work in the future.
Oh, man, dude, thank you so much, man. And just on top of that, real quick, from the wars and everything else you said, this type of stuff never sinks into me. And being in a situation, I'm never like, this never gets normal. So the fact that you're having me do this tonight is awesome. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for listening to the music. Y'all listening right now, definitely check me out if you haven't. And shout out to all my fans who's already hit to me, man. I love you guys.
Most definitely, Rittz. Thank you so much. Good luck and safe travels as well, actually, on your U.S. tour. I know you're gonna tear the roof off every venue, so they best have extra shingles in the back for when Rittz leaves their building.
I'm in there, man. I gotta start doing push-ups, man. Hit the treadmill. I'm ready to go.
Most definitely, Rittz. Thank you so much, man, and definitely have yourself a wonderful night.
man. Thanks for doing it.
You're most certainly welcome. Thank you.